What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the live stream. It has been a fun week. Oh man, look at the chat is already blowing up. I love to see that. Hang on just a second. So we're supposed to have Matt in here from DigNation. If you guys aren't familiar with his channel, check him out. Unfortunately, we're having some technical issues. He's having some issues joining in the call. So yeah, I don't think it's gonna work out tonight. Yeah. Unfortunately, that's kind of a bummer because I was really looking forward to having him on. That's unfortunate. So maybe when we get back after the holidays and all of that stuff, maybe we can give this one another shot. So I'm gonna play catch up in the comments because you guys are freaking rolling. Flying Armadillo and Phoenix Ghost, what's happening, guys? I hope you guys are still hanging around because I noticed you guys had those comments before we even got rolling there. And so, yeah, hang on just a second. Let me text Matt back so I'm not leaving him hanging here. We just went live, period. Let's try doing this after the holidays, period. If you want to jump in the comments, we will go back and forth. There you go. Real time, guys. Behind the scenes stuff right there. How's the audio, by the way? Let me know how my audio sounds. Voice sounds just, hang on. Let me see here. Test. Here we go. Hang on. Yep. Let's test that back up. Here we go. Thank you guys for being on top of my audio game there. Okay. See if that's better, guys. A lot going on this evening. I apologize. Let's try the whole thing over again, but this time 10 times more professional. Here we go. Welcome back to the live stream. It's been a great week. So unfortunately, we're having technical issues getting Matt on the phone. It's just not going to happen tonight. So it is what it is. So to catch you guys up, I was out in Ohio this week working with Built Right Contracting, Built Right Excavating. It used to be Built Right Construction. Then they flipped over. He actually sold the building side of the business and just went pure excavating. And he's loving life. The business owner's name is Wayne. Merrick, one of his, basically his right-hand man, reached out to me to see if I would swing down and come work with him. And so I did. I went down there. I was there Wednesday and Thursday. I spent part of the morning, Friday, actually filming the guys of the company so I could get some footage of them. Did a quick interview with them so that we could kind of tell their story on the channel. So it was a really good week. I got to run a Liebherr dozer, which I will get into in a little bit. Excuse me, pardon me. There's the scotch, which, by the way, this evening, I'll let you guys see, we are drinking one of my favorites. This is Monkey Shoulder, and this is a blended scotch, and it actually comes from offcasts from, I think it's the Glenlivet, you know what? We're not even going to try tonight because my mind just blanked out and I can't remember what the other two are. Belvini, and I don't remember what the other one is. Anyway, it's a really good scotch blend. If you like scotch, it's fantastic. So where was I going with that? Why was I talking about that? I don't know, but we're gonna have a sip here because we just, we're off to a rocky start. Anyway, got to run a Liebherr dozer. Like I said, we'll get into that in a little bit, but all honesty, it was a fantastic week. Had a blast with those guys. They were super generous hosts. I cannot say thank you enough to those guys for having me down. They truly gave me the star treatment. They took me to dinner both nights, and just super sweet people. So thanks again to Built Right Excavating out of Cambridge, Ohio. Really appreciate you guys. So with that being said, I am going to catch up to the comments here because I am falling way behind very quickly. So Richard, good evening. How's everything with you and your family? Anything new with you? Have you been doing anything fun lately? Are your kids on any equipment yet? Well, I gave you the highlight of what's going on in my life. Good to see you, by the way, Richard. I appreciate you hanging out, as always. The kids this week, unfortunately, didn't get any seat time. Maybe next week we're going to get some seat time. I'm actually leaving for Texas on Wednesday. And while we're down there, my brother-in-law and sister have a project for us that we're going to rent a mini excavator and a skid steer. So we will get my kids, all of the cousins, everybody's going to be on equipment. It's going to be a good time. So unfortunately, I'm getting stuck with a Bobcat Mini. We all know how I feel about that, but it is what it is. Shane, what's happening, my brother? Good to see you, man. Still working 6 days a week. That's the thing about Southern California. You don't really get a layoff like we do up here in the north. We are currently getting snow. We got about, I don't know, we probably had about a 1/4 inch on the ground before it warmed up and melted off, but it's been snowing all day long because that's what you get when you live in Michigan, up in the north. I'm going to take this out, by the way, because I'm not communicating back and forth with Matt since he wasn't to get the tech stuff worked out. So now I can hear and it's not awkward. Beautiful. Let's see here. Richard, doing good. Steve, here we go. That's right, baby. Here we go. Hope you guys, hope y'all doing good. Boy, if I didn't know better, I'd say you were a Southern boy, Steve, because you sound like someone out of my hometown in Texas. Hope y'all are doing good too. Shane's bragging on himself. Look at there. He's top guy in his area. I'm just gonna give you some shit, Shane. I'm sorry. I know you're top guy. You're a good operator. So, that is awesome that you're still working full time. Having a bit of a motivation issue making new videos. Wow, welcome to the YouTube grind, my man. It hits everybody. You just got to push through. And in all honesty, you got to recognize why you're doing it. Are you doing it for the fun because of the passion of making the videos? Are you doing it just to kind of make some extra income? This is one of those things you got to be doing it for the passion and the love of making the videos. Otherwise, you're going to burn out super quick. So for what it's worth, push through. I would love to see you push through because I really do love your content. You got some really, really good stuff coming out. So, and I did watch your video today, both of them. You had a short, and then you had your WA320, which you want to talk about having flashbacks. That WA320 running plates around with those pipe forks, man, that's all I used to do. That's exactly the loader I was in for a year, and that's exactly the setup, the pipe fork setup that I had. And like, you're bringing back some hardcore memories there. Cali, Central California, near Sacramento, Doom, Diesel Daddy has blessed us. Wow, that's boy, loving it. Let's see here. Boom. I'm catching up. Sorry guys, we've like got so many comments stacked up. I'm trying to get down to them so I can get back. And then we got Diesel Daddy. That's one nickname. And then we got Big Poppy. There's Brandon. I appreciate you coming out, Brandon. Appreciate you trying to make me feel uncomfortable. But man, after the trolls on last week's live stream, you're gonna have to try harder than that, brother. So sound is good. Merrick, what's happening, man? It's good to see you. So M Miller in the comments here, that is Merrick. He is actually who reached out and contacted me to have me swing down. And this was totally intentional, Merrick. I did want to show you guys off and show off the shirt in appreciation for you guys having me down. Had a great time, absolute blast with those guys. And stay tuned, because in the spring, there's a decent chance I will be headed back down there, and we are working on a tunnel project for a residential job. The craziest thing I've ever heard of, which is why I want to go down there and work on it, because I've never heard of a residential tunnel project. So hang on just a second, guys. It is hot as balls in this room, and I'm gonna go close the little vent. Hang on just a second. I'll take 2 seconds. Come on, I'll even talk to you. You guys know I'm not leaving the room. I'm one of the first rooms. So I'm one of the first rooms on our AC system down here, our ventilation system down here. And so like when the vents open, it was cold in here because I'm in the basement. It was cold in here at first, but within like 30 seconds of the furnace turning on, this room becomes a boiler. So you might see me sweating here in just a second here. Let's see here. Rico, what's happening? Good to see you. Thanks for hanging out. Don Gabacho, SoCal checking in. What's happening? I'm a little jealous of your weather right now, because as I just mentioned, it's snowing here in Michigan right now. James, what's happening, my man? Are you guys getting the snow up north? I would assume if we're getting it with the size of that storm that was rolling through, I'd assume you're getting some snow up your direction. Brandon sent me a picture. So as I mentioned, I ran a Lee Bear dozer this week. It just so happened that Brandon sent me an Instagram picture of his Lee Bear dozer, and his dozer was bigger than mine. I will admit that. But it's, as we all know in this industry, it's not about the size. It is absolutely on how you use it. And it's also in how many ways does your blade move, Brandon? And I'm sorry, but I'm far more capable of using my dozer, and I've got a 6-way blade. So let's be honest about who's going to be doing the pleasing around here. I'm just saying, Brandon. I went there. I did. Let's see here. Bobby, is it actual secretions of monkey shoulders? I don't know, but I will say this confidently. I don't care, because it's delicious. It's amazingly delicious. In all honesty, try it for the price point. So this sucker right here is $34, I think. It's really, really reasonable for what it is, and the quality is up there with, like a 12-year, probably 12-year Belvini. Really, really good. So I highly recommend the monkey secretions. Jackson, what's happening, man? Might want to change the title of your live stream. It is what it is. I'm committed at this point. Unfortunately, it didn't work out. Matt and I were trying to make it happen. And yeah, so as he mentioned, I just saw his comment a little further down. He admitted in his defense, Matt did say that his laptop was a dinosaur. So unfortunately, the old girl gave out tonight. So what we'll do when I get back into town after the Thanksgiving holidays is we'll probably do a miniature live stream on my private channel so that we can get that all dialed in. This is more for Matt, but you know what? You guys get the behind the scenes because that's how we roll here. So what we'll do is we'll do a live stream on my private channel that no one else can see. We'll get everything dialed in and make everything work. And then the following week, we'll actually do the live stream. So no problem that it didn't happen tonight. We'll make it happen. So, let's see here. How do you stay warm in the cold weather? I can tell you, as a southern boy who moved north, there are multiple ways you can stay warm. The first is take the layoff and don't go outside, which is always my favorite option. But in all honesty, if you are going to work outside, it's really just proper winter gear. So layers is key. Anyone in the north will tell you that. So I generally, when it's, you know, around the temperatures, we've got an average high right now of about 35 to 37 degrees. And when you get that cold, I'm generally got a top and bottom layer of long underwear. I have a t-shirt, and then I will do a hoodie. On the bottom half, I've got my long johns. I'll do jeans, and then I will actually put on Carhartt overalls. And then you have a Carhartt coat that goes over. And so by the time you're all said, and a good pair of gloves. I will tell you right now, a good pair of gloves and a good pair of insulated work boots with wool socks will go a long way in making your life 1,000 times less miserable in the winter. It's always the toes and the fingers that just cause utter misery. So those are really, really key. But the beauty of the layer system is as you work through the day, if it starts to warm up, if the sun pops through, if you end up doing more shovel work than you are operating, or once you get in the cab of your machine, the beauty of the layers is you can start stripping those babies off, and you've kind of always got that nice, like, intermediate range of temperature control there. So that's the key in staying warm in the north if you're not familiar. Let's see here, Jackson. Oh, I did answer you, Jackson. Richard, awesome going to Texas. Yes, very excited about the Texas trip. Ryan, how's it going? We officially have snow on the ground as of a few hours ago. I'm here with you, man. It's been snowing all day. We had about a 1/4 inch on the ground this morning. It's since kind of melted off, but it's supposed to snow through the night. It wouldn't surprise me if we wake up with a dusting tomorrow. Winter is officially here, guys. It is here. Bobby, that's right. Yeehaw. Where's Matt hiding? Couldn't make it, man. Technology kills us. In the dirt world, we have one weakness, and it is technology, unfortunately. Steve Pierre Lewis. I'm actually in Georgia, noob in machine operating on the roadwork side. That's awesome. Let me know if you got any questions. I'd be more than happy to answer them. And yeah, welcome to the live stream, and it's good to see you, man. Don Gabacho. Does that mean you suck? It doesn't necessarily mean he sucks. It just means he hasn't gotten good yet. Did you like that nice marketing spin there? Can you tell I came from a marketing background? And Matt, I did see your comment about the dinosaur. Dude, no big deal. We'll make it work. We'll make it, even if it's with the phone next time, we'll make it work, man. Don't get discouraged, brother, but unfortunately I can't leave everybody waiting all evening while we get the kinks hammered out. So, eFix, what's happening? All right, so Efix has become my go-to guy for new channels I need to follow. So let's see here. Which, by the way, Richard, about trade hounds, I did look it up. I didn't realize it's a phone only app. I was on my computer at the time. So I did go look that up, and then I totally forgot to go sign up on my phone for an account because I was in the middle of doing stuff on my computer. So I apologize, but at the same time, I didn't forget you, brother. I did look that up. So Peter, so that sounds like a European name because he doesn't use an E in his name. Smotek. Okay, I'll check him out this week. I will check him out this week, especially because I'm going to be on a plane. I may download 5 or 6 of his videos and watch them on the plane while we're flying to Texas. So, Brandon, I can make you laugh, but I don't know if it's PC, you know. That's a dangerous tightrope to walk on here, Brandon. I would say maybe shoot that one over on the Instagram, just for your sake, because let's not. We got to tread lightly here, buddy. No, I'm actually doing great, especially learning from this channel. Whoa, my God, let's see if I've got the applause pulled up here, because that was a phenomenal answer. Here we go. What a phenomenal answer from Steve Pierre Lewis in reply to Don Gabacho. That was fantastic. Thank you for that. He is learning from this channel, and that's why he's doing stellar, Steve. Stellar. A little snow last night, but melted as soon as it hit the ground. Oh, and I saw, you know, Matt, super bummed. Like I said, don't worry about it, brother. We're gonna make it happen. I promise we're gonna make it happen. We'll just have to wait a week. Which, by the way, before I forget, oh yeah, I forgot this too. I need to turn on my little ta-da. Now you guys know who I am. Before I forget, so I do leave town on Wednesday of this week, and I will be gone for 10 days. So we will actually miss 2 weeks of the live stream. So we're gonna miss next Sunday and then the following Sunday. Unfortunately, because I will be traveling on that Sunday, it's always super tight to make sure that everything's in place and, you know, I would prefer to have a little woosah time before we dive right back into it. So we are gonna skip 2 weeks of the live stream starting next week. But once I get back into town, Matt, don't be discouraged. We're gonna do it. Don Gabacho, I want to know, what's the worst thing you wrecked? Just trash. We all have at least one. From a piece of equipment standpoint, I'm a relatively conservative operator, so I haven't actually trashed a piece of equipment. Now, that being said, I've had some close calls. I don't know. That's a good question, because I don't really think I've stupid stuff, like, you know, forking into some edge drain that was already in the ground, or ripping something out of the ground that, you know, we thought, you know, we were okay on. I've hit a gas line as of this work season because, you know, Rick set me up for failure. I'm gonna blame Rick for it, but I hit a gas line. So stupid stuff like that. But in all honesty, I've never wrecked a piece of equipment, never had a rollover, never had. And by God, you guys are strategizing against me too. I got to do the knock on wood thing, because now that I've said that out loud, you know what's going to happen this week. But up until this point in my career, I have not destroyed any pieces of equipment. So yeah. James, it's coming, but I don't think it will stick for at least a week. So it's looking like the temperatures are going to kind of climb and then, you know, come back down. And luckily we'll be in Texas when they come back down, so I'm hoping we miss the first real snowstorm. But with how much precipitation we've had this year, I'm predicting we're going to have a pretty brutal winter this year with a lot of really wet, heavy snow. It is what it is. We've had some pretty mild winters these past couple years, so it is what it is. But I'm not excited about that. So let's see here. Don Gabacho. Uh-oh. Shane said he's got an accident video coming out soon. So maybe I just need to go wreck something for views. I don't know. I'll talk to Rick and see what his insurance is like, and we'll take it from there. I'll do it on his dime. James, 100%. In fact, on that note, really quick, Matt, if you're still in here and you haven't crawled away to really weep at the sorrow of not making it tonight, if you wouldn't mind, link your channel in the comments here, buddy, and I will pin that comment so everyone can go check out your channel. And I would advise you guys go check out Matt's channel. He's just recently switched jobs, and it looks like he's primarily doing underground work. At least all of his recent content has been underground work, which is, you know, my dear me. Let's try it again, Brian. Near and dear to my heart. And so great channel to go follow. So I would highly encourage you guys. So yeah, link your channel in the chat there, Matt. What Shane's leaving already? Come on, Shane, hang on, I gotta catch up in the comments because Shane's saying boo and I don't know what's going on. But we'll get there. Richard, cuddle with a good-looking woman. That's the only way to warm up in the north. That's true, but unfortunately they don't often let good-looking women sit in the cab with you on some of these bigger job sites. So yes, that is unfortunate. So really it's looking like layers is what we got to do, unless you've got a foreman that you're really close with, in which case by all means invite him into the cab and have him sit in your lap while you operate. That's a great source of warmth if you get that comfortable with your foreman. So Brian and Ryan, you guys need to let me know your weather because it comes my way. Snow, that's what we've got, snow. And then I think in 2 days, I don't remember, Brandon. Okay, so here's what we've got. So today was snow, tomorrow's sunny and 40, Tuesday's sunny and 44, Wednesday's kind of a rain nasty mix and 60. We bump up to 60 and then we drop back down, but we get a lot of sun, it looks like. So yeah, you should be all right, Brandon. Don't sweat it, you'll be fine. Let's see here. Jackson, no, I'm not to you yet. I'll get to you, Jackson. Hang on. Ryan, just a steady stream of some sloppy wet snow. Yep. Excuse me, pardon me. Yeah, I'm with Ryan. That's kind of where we're at. If the wind shifts and we start getting it from the west, that's where we start getting the lake effect snow, and it's going to be a fantastic time. Jackson, I'm going to the Austin area, which is kind of where I'm from. My family has migrated north to a town called Salado, and that's actually where I'll be staying. It's about 40-ish minutes north of 45 minutes north of Austin. Shane, boo. I don't know why you're booing me, Shane. That's just rude. That's just uncalled for and rude. And then he's leaving. Bye. What's that about? What's that about? Come on, Shane. Jeez. James, gotta run, Brian. Oh, I see what's going on. James, I'm sorry if you have left already. Have a good evening, brother. I'm sorry I didn't get to say bye earlier. I'm just finally now getting caught up with the comments. But I hope you enjoy your night, and I hope you guys don't get hammered too hard from snow. Brandline Gaming, what's up, brother? Back again, local 302. What's happening, man? Thanks for coming out to live stream. Appreciate seeing familiar faces. Brian, wrecking stuff for views seems to be Andrew and Dirt Monkey's specialties. Yeah, I haven't seen the Dirt Monkey one. Yeah, I didn't see Dirt Monkeys, but I have seen Andrew basically destroy all of his equipment. I don't think it has anything to do with views. I just think the guy... If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. We're just gonna take the high ground here. Let's see here. Rico, you should put a Diesel and Iron hoodie in the merch line. Okay. I will get, you know what? I've got multiple hoodies for you to choose from. In fact, I've got a new design, guys. I will link it here in the comments. Give me just a second here, and I will absolutely link you guys the new shirt design, and we do have it in a hoodie. Give me just a quick second. Men's. And where did she go? Here we go. So I've got two separate designs here for you. This one we will link. So there's one hoodie design, and then I have a pinup hoodie design that I just came out with. And they're so new, I haven't even gotten mine yet. So you guys might beat me to ordering these. So these are the two latest designs that have gone up. And we do have You know, I never talk about my merchandise. I try not to be that guy. But if you're not familiar, dieselonironproductions.com, follow the link that I just posted. And we do have a whole merch line. We've got shirts, we've got cups, we've got girls Razorback tees, we've got all sorts of stuff. And then on top of that, I actually, underneath my YouTube videos, my Teespring line should be available as well. And we've got a little bit of a variety of merchandise over there that Printful doesn't offer. So I've got a fair amount of stuff. If you want to check it out, anything you purchase obviously helps contribute to the channel, and it's greatly appreciated. But at the same time, I try not to be that guy that's constantly peddling his merch. So Ryan, I did not. I went and looked for that video and I couldn't find it. So if anyone can tell me what happened in that video, I would appreciate it, because I never got a chance to watch it. You and everyone else too, Lever Monkey. Sorry guys, take care. Yep. It's not Gay Jackson. What are you talking about being Gay Jackson for? I don't know what's going on here. What's Gay Jackson? It's not Gay Jackson. What are you talking about, Brandon? You've totally lost me with that comment. Like, it came out of left field. Chapel Casting. Say that right? I got a question, guys. Started as a laborer and it sucks. Like, more than it should. Our supervisor has us working 13 to 16 hour days. No breakfast for lunch. Is that normal? It depends on the job. It depends on, you know, how high production the company is. It's not uncommon to not actually take a formal official lunch to eat on the fly. That's actually relatively common in non-union areas. If you're in a union area, however, you might reach out to your BA and let them know what's going on, because that is not cool if you're a union. But you know, it's one of those things where vote with your feet. We are in a labor market right now to where people need operators and laborers like crazy. You don't have to put up with that crap. You can absolutely go down the road and get you a nice job someplace else that's working fewer hours, same or maybe even better pay. Do some looking around. Don't feel like you're stuck at that job and you can't go anywhere else. I would highly encourage you to actually look around, because that sounds. Now, I will say the other thing too is we're on the tail end of the season. So depending on what area of the world you're from, if you're in some winter states or some states that actually lay off for the winter, this is everyone's final big push. And so, you know, by this late in the season, most guys are starting to wind down. It does surprise me that you're still pulling those hours, but you know, kind of that like September, October time frame, that's not unusual to be working some crazy hours. So but yeah, definitely do some looking around in your area if you're not happy with those hours, because there are better companies out there. Brandon, we've talked a lot about Dirt Monkey. Boom, you tend not to say anything about him. Why? So I'm drawing a blank there. Dirt Monkey. Oh, that's Stanley. That's okay. Yeah. So yeah, I try to hold my tongue there with Dirt Monkey, just because he's not my cup of tea. I'll just say that. You know, however anybody else feels about him, I haven't watched enough of his videos to really have an official opinion on like safety things. But I will say, just from a like who he is as a personality standpoint, he just kind of rubs me the wrong way. I'm not really a huge fan. Nothing against the guy. We all have our, you know, personal preferences. That's about the only thing I'm gonna say there. Hang on just a second, guys. Is the live stream flaking on you guys? Because I totally forgot I've got Dropbox loading a ton of files for my editor, and that's destroying my bandwidth. So I apologize if you guys have had really crappy quality. I just put that on pause. It should get better here for you. Let's see here. I'm getting behind again. Look at your state laws. Don Gabacho. No, I mean wrecked hard. I do not want to jinx you. I feel the same way. So knock on wood. I just like the conversation. I effed up Petty Bone one time. I have a great track record otherwise. Yeah, I'm trying to think, and first of all, when you're on a live stream and the pressure's on to perform, you know what I mean. I don't know, it's hard to think through my whole career, but in all honesty, if you had wrecked something pretty bad, it would kind of stick out. And I just can't think of anything that I really wrecked that stands out. I've gotten into some dicey situations a couple times in some haul trucks. but never to the point that we rolled it, never to the point that we damaged anything. So I'm sorry I'm bored here, but you know, it is what it is. That's what happens when you got a good operator in the seat, right? Just kidding, guys, just kidding. I'm really jinxing myself this week. I swear to God, I'm gonna go out and like roll a dozer into a basement or something. Okay, so man, this sucks. Curtis Gaming, what sucks? What about this whole conversation and looking at my beautiful face sucks? Because I think it's amazing. Let's see here. Where did you do that link at? Oh, you know what? I'm sorry, guys. I might be missing some of you guys because I've got top chat turned on. I don't want top chat turned on. Live chat. I'm probably missing some of you guys because I don't have live chat turned on. Let me scroll back up here. No, maybe I'm not. I don't see the link anywhere. I don't see the link anywhere, Matt. Just post it right there in the chat. Or did I miss it, guys? Help me out. Help me out if I missed it, but I don't see it posted. As soon as I see the comment, I will pin it to the top so that it stays around. Let's see here. Ambitious. Oh, sorry. I was finding my spot in the comments. How's it going, Ambitious? Good to see you, man. And what is your name again? I don't remember if I asked you or not. And I'm probably going to ask you 3 more times, but let me know your actual name and I will try my best to remember that and call you by your actual name. I'm used to 505, totally peanut butter. What are we talking about? I'm so confused right now by the lingo that is happening in this chat. I'm lost. Am I old? Is this what this is signifying? Is that I'm old? I'm used to 5x5, totally peanut butter. What does that even mean? Sweet Jesus. David Laura, do operators, by the way, thanks for showing up. I am not familiar with your name. I don't know if you've been here or not. I don't think you have, but thanks for coming in. Do operators who don't own the equipment have to worry about pulling a trailer or just operate the equipment? That's totally dependent upon the size of the company you go work for. So smaller companies, yes, there's a good chance that you will have to haul your equipment because they don't have a dedicated driver. Oh, sorry guys. I told you it's hot. It's hot as balls in this room now that the furnace is kicked on. And so I'm having to take my socks off because it's that hot. And hopefully we don't stir up Brandon's foot fetish that I know he has, because Brandon's just that kind of guy. It wouldn't shock me at all if Brandon has a foot fetish. I said it, Brandon. Boom. And we'll lower our chair down so I'm not cutting my head off. Anyway, if you go to work for like a mid to larger company, mid-sized to larger company, going back to David's question, generally they will have a dedicated low boy driver, and you don't have to worry about hauling your equipment around. So you kind of have an option there of what you want to do. Excuse me. Ryan, he basically mowed his lawn, a rocky hillside, a couple times when it looked like a hayfield. Other than that, he beat the shnikes out of a brand new mower, hitting rocks, saplings, and running it through every ditch and pond at full speed. You know, I will say this about Ryan, Camarada, or whatever his name is. He does have the views and the subscribership to probably have some of that nice YouTube FU money. And so, you know, maybe he just, it wouldn't surprise me if there's a stroke of brilliance there to where he just recognizes, hey, if I go wreck this totally brand new mower, it will result in more views and more controversy, which brings in more revenue, which ultimately is a net positive. That's just speculation. It could just be that he's that dumb. I don't know. I don't know the guy well enough. I haven't watched enough of his content. You know, it is what it is. Doom. Depends on who you work for. Yep, 100%. Curtis Gaming 7 to 3:30 sucks. Oh, I gotcha. I'm with you, Curtis. Okay, peanut butter. What is happening? I'm used to 5 to 5. 5 to 5, not 5 by 5. I'm with you, Curtis. I just had a little bit of a special moment. If you guys will just, whew, we're gonna pretend that never happened. We're gonna move forward, because apparently I just went full special there. No, it doesn't depend on progress and performance over equals lunch. Good for me. Right, same here with you. Sorry, this is how I speed read comments, is I make mouth sounds while I speed read. Danby, Dirt Monkey is probably one of the best hardscape YouTubers, but I will say when he goes to public events like GIE and World of Concrete, he does seem kind of interesting. And that's the thing is, like, I don't even follow any of his actual work. I've always seen like these little snippet videos of him like doing reviews, or he's really big on the clickbaity titles, like, oh my god, did we have to fire this guy, or oh, the cops showed up while I was mowing this lawn. And it's like, I don't care. Like, I really don't care. I hate clickbaity titles. I intentionally, it's like a personal vendetta. I don't want to click your content if it's got a clickbaity title. And then he's always seemed really arrogant, and I want to be careful saying that, because I'm sure at some point we'll cross paths, and I don't want to badmouth the guy at all because I don't know him. I really don't. But he's just kind of got that vibe to him that he's very, very arrogant. And you know, guys like that just kind of rub me the wrong way. And it's like, look, that's okay. You know, that's fine. If you're very proud of yourself, that's fine. But again, I don't know if that's his personality, because there's multiple things happening. There's, first of all, I don't know him at all. Secondly, who you are in front of the camera doesn't necessarily represent who you are behind, you know, out from behind the camera. And so I try not to make judgment calls there, but at the same time, his channel's just not my cup of tea, and so I've never really followed it, and so I can't really have a full-on opinion, and that's where I stand. Let's see here. Do live chat. What do you mean? Yeah, I know, Brandon. I just said that I'm doing live chat. Good God, come on now. Bobby, missed 2 of your comments. You're usually pretty on top of the comments. I shed an actual tear. I'm sorry, Bobby. What were your comments? Let me scroll back up here. Hang on, I gotta see if I can find Bobby's comments. Bobby, I got your monkey secretions. Hang on, let me see if I can find another one. Oh, you know what? I wonder if it will only show me the full comments after I click live chat, because I don't see that I missed any. So if you'll repost, Bobby, I would be more than happy to get to your comments, and I apologize for skipping those. I apologize to anyone else that I may have skipped, because I didn't realize that was turned on. I'm sorry. It's a failure on my part. I'm sorry, guys. Here we go. All right. Taper Cut Louisiana, I've never seen you before. Welcome to the live stream. Where do you normally get your shirts from? I like the textures of your shirts. So I go through Printful. This is not one of my shirts, obviously. This is one that was generously given to me by a contractor I was working for this week. But my personal shirts, my Diesel and Iron shirts, are through Printful. And then I just fired up a Teespring store as well, because that's what integrates to YouTube. But if you go to dieselandironproductions.com, I've got a link to the store right there, and you are more than welcome to buy as many t-shirts as you desire, my friend, because I would be more than happy to sell them to you. Merchandise significantly helps this baby run, so I appreciate any of the merch purchases I get. But yeah, let's see here. Ambitious, good, and yeah, it's Jay. Okay, Ambitious, Jay. I'm gonna pre-apologize because I'm gonna screw your name up, or I'm just flat out gonna forget it probably about 6 or 7 times. But we're gonna get there, brother. I promise. Bobby, that's right. It was my feet. Legitimately, I have some smelly feet, and I apologize, guys. You just wait until this internet thing gets really good to where we can actually transmit smells and, you know, all of these other like very intimate details through the internet. It's gonna get good, guys. You wait. This live stream, it will be just it'll just be crickets, because no one will want to smell my feet. Let's see here. Just dropping in. Hey, America's Finest Backhoe. Good to see you. Thanks for hanging out. Hey, Nick, how's it going, man? Good to see you. Glad you were able to come out. You guys getting snow up north? Because I know James was in here earlier. He said he just got a little dusting, but it all melted. That's kind of what we've got, so I'm assuming that's what you've got up there. Flying Armadillo. Hey, there you are. You're back. Told my classmates that they should start watching your channel. We are all studying heavy equipment at Fleming College in Canada. Hey, I appreciate it. So this goes for all of you guys. Anybody that refers people to the channel, I genuinely appreciate that. I do. I throw this content out there in the hopes that it helps some people, and so to hear it helping to the point that you guys are referring to the people, let's try that one again, that you guys are referring people to the channel genuinely makes my heart smile. Like, that's awesome, because this is a labor of love. It is a true labor. Like, there's a lot of work that goes into making the content, filming and working at the same time. Ask Merrick if he's still in here. He may have taken off, but like, it's a lot of work actually doing the filming on top of the work. And so to hear it's really paying off and you guys are enjoying it, that's awesome. So Flying Armadillo, I appreciate it. Here is a sip to you, brother. Ryan, thank you. I got so bogged down in the comments, I totally forgot. Yes, I got to run the Lee Bear, and I loved it. Overall, I loved it. It was a great machine. It was probably one of the best just overall finishing machines I've run. I don't remember the model on it. In fact, hang on, I've got a picture on my phone, and let me see if I can pull the model off of it, because I can't remember the model. I wasn't really paying attention. But it was the equivalent to a D6 K, so it's a 716, and these will go up on Instagram. I apologize for the burp, guys. It is what it is. These photos are going to be going up on Instagram soon, but that is the baby I was running, and it was awesome. It's like I told Merrick and Wayne, any of my negative things I had to say about it were all very nitpicky, you know, because I'm an operator and that's what we do, is complain. So nitpicky stuff. So awesome smooth controls, but at the same time it felt like there was a lot more arm throw in it than a traditional, like a D6 or a Komatsu or the case. There was just a lot more length in the throw to get it in forward and reverse, and in your dozer controls, instead of more wrist movements. So, you know, at first that was a little kind of, I wasn't a huge fan of, but at the same time, once you ran it for 20-30 minutes, you kind of got used to it and it wasn't that big of a deal. Another super nitpicky thing is the latch for the door. You have to pull towards you, but then the door swings out to open. So you almost have to use two hands to open the door, one to pull the latch and one to open the door. It's like, why would you not make it a push latch like the case, where you just push it and then push it out and you can open the door? The seat wasn't quite all the way back in the cab. It was actually forward a little bit. And unfortunately that made it to where even when you sat up in the seat and looked behind you, you couldn't see where your track stopped. So there were a couple times where I was backing up to a driveway to do some finish passes, and, you know, I was having to be super conservative because I couldn't see where my tracks ended. That's it. I mean, really, those are the small nitpicky things I had. It was a really, really nice dozer. It pushed on par with like the case and the Komatsu. It finish graded like that case. In fact, I dare say it may have even finish graded a little smoother than the case. It was just a really, really nice machine. Oh, one other material thing. This was the only material thing that really was driving me nuts on it, is when you would shove all the way forward on the controls to get that blade down, the blade didn't go down fast enough. And so that was really irritating, especially when I was backblading, because we were doing a finish grade and I did need to backblade my tracks. And as you guys who've run dozers are familiar, if you go over, you know, kind of a mound that you've created, and right as the dozer drops over that mound, you've got to shove forward and get that blade down quick to keep your grade flat. And this machine, unfortunately, would not drop fast enough. And so I found myself right at that teetering point. I would have to stop the machine and then slowly creep over that and drop my blade so that the blade would keep up with the grading. That was about the only material thing about that machine I disliked. Now that being said, let's like kind of flip our conversation direction here. As a contractor, I don't know that I would recommend this machine, simply because they've had some fluke issues with this machine. They've actually had 3 cylinders that have had issues with the seals to where they won't hold pressure. And while I was out there, we actually had to install, and I'm not going to say I didn't do it. Merrick and the guys installed some temporary valves, because the cylinder for the blade angle left and right wouldn't hold pressure. And so if I put pressure on this side of the blade with dirt, it would just start to pivot. And likewise, if I did this side, it would just pivot. You couldn't hold pressure. And so we had to put temporary valves to where I could only push straight in the machine the whole time I was there. That's the 3rd cylinder that they've had that happen on, which to me, like, that's unheard of. You never have that many cylinder issues with the machine. And certainly if this was something that was common with Lee Bear, it would be all over the internet. Everyone would know about it. What I think, what I speculate, and Wayne kind of agrees with me, I think that this had some contamination in the hydraulic fluid from the get-go, and it has just gone through and wreaked havoc on the system, and they're kind of dealing with the fallout of that. And so unfortunately, it's one of those machines they're probably just going to have to sell and get rid of and let it be someone else's problem, which that in itself is totally understandable. You know, that happens with every manufacturer. Every once in a while there is a machine that goes out that has some issue you can't pin down. It's always going to be a problem. That to me, I've got a little grace for. But the problem is, because it's a German machine and we're over here in the US, you know, parts are anywhere from 6 to 12 weeks out before they can get a part for that. And, you know, that's not acceptable when you are in any sort of production, or if, like these guys, that's your one big dozer you've got. Like if that, you know, the blade angle was inconvenient, but the machine was still usable. But if that were any other part on the machine that was going to cause us to not be able to run it, like that's a month to 3 months that you're going to be down with that machine because they don't have any parts here. So that's just another thing to consider with the Liebherr. But overall, I will say that was a fantastic dozer. Absolutely loved it. So I hope that answered your question, because that was a really, really long answer. And now I think it was strategy, Ryan. I'm behind in the comments again, damn it. Okay, so Nick has gone and pulled out the grenade launcher and says that Stanley Dirt Monkey is a snow plowing fool. No, he is a fool, not in a good way. He's not like, man, that guy's a snow plowing fool. It's like, no, he's a fool when it comes to snow plowing. So he's lobbing grenades. I didn't say it, for the record. Dan, let's see here. His employees are the ones that actually teach some decent stuff. He's as much of a prop as Biden. Woo! Shots fired, Dan. Woo, baby, that one. I think I singed a little arm here as that one went by. My God. I can appreciate that he goes above and beyond what's necessary for his retaining and stuff, but he's way oversells it, and just presentation feels belittling to me. Yeah, he's just got that like cocky arrogance, and it's not like I do a good job, that's why you should go with me. It's like I'm kind of an arrogant guy that's going to talk down to you. Again, I don't know him. I don't know him. Jackson, I'm sorry. I'm sure you're long gone. I'm sorry for not being able to say bye, but have a good week, man. Yeah, he thinks little Bach pusher plows are the best thing in the world. I will say one of the things that got me, he did that review of, what's the brand that Volvo put out that's like super chintzy? It's not XCMG or whatever, but what is the brand that Volvo puts out that's like the lower end? His review on that loader, as he's doing his walk around of it, and he's talking about how this is going to be the golden goose and this is just the greatest thing. I'm going, no, because I can tell you from both an equipment runner and a former equipment seller, there are things that I'm already spotting just from like not even being in person that I'm going, that's a really crappy machine. So yeah, those are the sort of things that kind of makes it questionable. Anyway, Nick, yep, tomorrow a little disgusting, but it's not gonna melt, make everything muddy. Fantastic. Yeah, this is one thing I really hate about this time of year, is we aren't to the point that the ground's frozen. We aren't to the point that the snow's gonna stick. It just hits the ground, melts, turns your job site into a giant poo hole, and then you get to wallow around in it. And my favorite part is at the end of the day when you get to clean the tracks that are totally gummed up with that stuff, and it's super thick and it is miserable. You know, when you start getting to where it's 45 minutes to an hour and a half of shoveling tracks at the end of the day, I'm out. I'll take the layoff. I'm done. I don't want to be here anymore. So, Shane, whatever pays the bills. Yep. Arctic plows seem pretty good, but he's a sellout. He works with a different company every year. I will say we used to sell Arctic plows. Those are really, really good plows, and that's a legitimate, like, we put them up against some other plows and they did a really, really good job. So for the record, Nick, problem is plow is probably good, but it's not the only thing. Just dropping in and say hello. Hey, thanks for coming out, Curtis. I appreciate it. And now that I'm past my special moment and I understand what we're talking about, it was good chatting with you. There it is, Ryan. His Chinese loader. That's the one I was referring to. Yes. Yes. The Chinese loaders. I'm sorry, but those are just junk. He was doing his walk around of them, just ranting and raving about them, and I'm just like, dude, that is a piece of crap. Like, that is, I can tell the build quality. Yes, SDLG. Thank you, Ryan. Yeah, like the whole time he's walking around that machine, I'm just going, hey, that's built super crappy, and that's built super crappy, and that's never gonna last. And okay, put that through one snowstorm and a salting and see how it holds up. Like, garbage machines, but he was singing the praises of him, and I'm just going, dude, what? Anyway, Curtis Excavation, what is that referring to? Curtis Gaming. I don't know. Nick, hell yeah, I ran a Liebherr dozer. I absolutely ran a Liebherr dozer. I just showed you the picture on my phone of me, of the dozer I ran. And soon there will be videos to follow. And Merrick, he's gone for this evening, but Merrick will back me up on that. So, Don Gabacho, got you. You're the man, big dog. No, that's absolutely right. If someone has no damage, something good, that is extremely exemplary. And it's funny you say you had trouble with the sling these days. I'm old, apparently. And let me tell you guys, that happens overnight. Like, I'm still under the impression that I'm relatively young, and then all of a sudden people come in here and start talking in words that I've never even heard before. And oh, you guys all corrected me with the SDLG, and I only gave Ryan credit. Thank you, Nick and Brandon, as well. I don't mean to short you guys and shaft you on the credit. But anyway, back to you, Don. Yeah, it happens overnight. Like, all of a sudden you wake up and you sit down and you have your breakfast one morning, and then you read something on Reddit or whatever social media you decide to pick, and you're just like, I don't understand a word of what I just read. And yet there are 100,000 comments on this agreeing and disagreeing rapidly with it. And I don't understand what we're talking about. And it's like, just like that, you're like, oh shit, I'm old. I am officially old now. So it happens to all of us, Don. I'm sorry that you have to put up with an old man. It is what it is. Hey, Merrick is here. Look at that. And he's backing me up. Boom, baby. Look at that. Whew, I love it. I love it. Let's see here. I didn't get to give the loader a true power test, but yeah, it's comfortable. You almost have to try and make it toss you around. That's another great point, Ryan. That Liebherr, no joke, was probably the smoothest dozer I have ever run. So it had the independent track suspension, which is more and more common. I think the D6K I ran out in Minnesota had it. The case, I know for the 1150, I know for a fact has it. But there was something about that Liebherr. It was just smooth. And I will say this, and I think Merrick will back me up. I was able to put down some really nice passes with that dozer with a full load under it or finishing. It didn't matter what situation. There was something about the ride in that dozer. It was so freaking smooth to run, and it was smooth with those blade controls. That's where that Liebherr really excelled. And I know I'm a sellout. I love my case. But I would say that is an even better finish grading machine than the case. Like, it was a great finish grading machine. So, yeah, I was very pleased with it. I really was. Excuse me. Whew, that scotch, baby. That scotch. Oh, by the way, I totally forgot. And this is going to go totally personal, and I apologize, everyone, but you got to tolerate it. Merrick, if you get a chance, will you please shoot me a text or an email with your home address? My wife would like to thank your wife for the care package she sent. She was very flattered and super happy, and she has been enjoying the chocolate-covered pretzels and everything that you sent. So she'd like to send a card to your wife. So just now back to the live stream. Let's see here. Metal Plus are probably the best plows, expensive, but man, they work amazing. See, we're getting off into snow territory, and I don't do snow, as you guys are familiar with. I hate doing snow, so I don't know what the great brands are, other than I know Arctic is really, really solid, and they put out some good stuff. I don't know any of the other real brands, and I don't really care to know about them because I don't want to go push snow. So you know, it is what it is. Shane, have you ever had a chance to run a Kobelco SC210 hybrid? Funny you ask, because we actually talked about this trip. I personally have not sat in the seat of one. I have been dying to get in the seat of one, but we did sell them at Southeastern Equipment, and I talked to guys that actually ran them, and they are fantastic machines. They are super, super fast. So the way the hybrid works on the Kobelco, I don't know about the other manufacturers, but Kobelco specifically, you have electric swing motors. And so if you imagine in a strict digging hogging situation, every time you swing, traditionally, you know, you think about it, you're generally booming up and sticking in and getting ready to go over your truck or wherever you're going to dump. But as soon as you start to engage your swing motors, like, that's a lot of hydraulic power that's getting drawn into those swing motors. And so all of your other functions slow down. Not in the Kobelco. Oh, and likewise, if you go into a full swing, but you're also using your other hydraulic functions, your swing isn't nearly as fast. But in the hybrid, that stays the same speed, because now you're not robbing all of your other hydraulics of the hydraulic power from the swing motors. Those are electric. Now you get full speed on your swing, you get full speed on all your functions. And then on top of that, when you go over your truck and you start to slow down, traditionally you have a swing brake that engages. It's literally just a brake. It's a hydraulic brake. Instead, that generates electricity back into the battery bank, and you're recovering some of that energy. If I remember right, the payoff, or I should say the break even, because I will say the hybrid is significantly more expensive. It's like, I'm not even going to say it because I can't remember, but it's substantially more expensive than a standard 210. But just talking about fuel economy, the payback on that, or the break even on that, was about 5 years. So really, when you start talking about production, if you add that into the equation, I bet your payback on that is probably within about 3 years, if I had to guess. And that's total estimation. I'm not going to hold anyone to that. I would appreciate it if no one holds me to that, because it is speculation. But when you really add in the production factor into that equation, it's going to substantially drop your payback time. And they are awesome machines. Nick, dude, I want to run a Liebherr. You know, I know a guy, and he commented right below you. Merrick is the man when it comes to running a Liebherr, and they are, and they appreciate having operators around. So, you know, might give them a call. But it is going to be a little bit of a drive from way up there in old Canada. Let's see here. You old, wait for the 40s. Dude, Shane, I'm already like, every day something else turns gray, or there's another hair that sprouts out from somewhere that you've never seen it before, and you're just like, what the F are you doing, body? It is what it is. Rico, Instagram should be just Diesel and Iron. It's Diesel, I'll put it in the comments. Diesel, not like that. Learn to spell, Brian, in Iron. I believe it's as simple as that, buddy. That's my Instagram. And I'm sorry I haven't been super consistent on there, but that's again where I'm old. And I'm just like, Instagram, sweet Jesus, I don't have time to post there. I'm busy doing other things. It is what it is. I try to post some good stuff, though. Brandon, shut up, Nick. Okay, all right, there we go. Bobby, you're all good. My comments were, did you try to call via Skype with DigNation? And stoked I finally caught another actual live stream. We're making it, guys. We're making it. I may be old, but we're making it. Brandon, no, the Liebherr cab was actually really quiet. I would put it pretty much on par. I think, you know, not having them side by side, it's really hard to do an apples to apples, but I think the Cat was just a hair quieter, but it was pretty stinking quiet in that cab. It was a very, very tolerable volume. I was able to listen to the radio with no issue. Merrick and I were going back and forth with the radios in that cab with no issue. It was, I wouldn't put it anywhere, you know. One of the things that I've stayed true on is that case, as awesome of a dozer as it is, the cab, I can't even talk, the cab is loud as crap. I wouldn't put it anywhere even remotely in the same realm as the case. But so when I say it was a little louder than the Cat, I mean a little, if any. But I really couldn't answer that honestly until I had them side by side and was able to jump from one to the other. But it was a nice quiet cab. Let's see here. Merrick, that was the exact same thing she said about your wife for sending the care package. So, we really do appreciate you guys. You guys were fantastic. Ryan ran their 566 loader and it was unnaturally quiet. It's a 50,000 pound loader, and in the cab you have to pay attention to know if it was running or not. You know, the new loaders have gotten that way, especially the loaders. The new cases are that way too. Like, you fire it up and then you kind of forget that you can hear anything until the fan reverses on it. They're really, really quiet machines. So what is going on? All of a sudden I caught up to the end of the comments. Boy, we were clipping along there for a little bit. And we still got 30 minutes left in the live stream. We got to pick it up, guys. I will take this opportunity, though, to re-mention that we will not be going live next Sunday or the following. So we're skipping 2 Sundays on the live stream because I will be down in Texas running a little Bobcat Mini, hating my life, complaining and bitching constantly because I will be running a Bobcat Mini, doing a yard drain system for my brother-in-law and my sister, and I'm going to be offering rides to all of the cousins. So we will be far too busy to do any sort of live streaming with, let's see here, I have 4 nephews. Nope, 3 nephews and 1 niece, plus my 2 boys. So that's 6 children running rampant, and there's no way I'm going to try to do a live stream with 6 children running around screaming. So I'm sorry, but it is what it is. You have to cut me some slack, guys. Whew. Sorry for the burps. It's the scatch. You have to say it with the true Michigander accent. It's the scatch. You have to really draw out the O and make it a couple A's. It's not scotch, it's scatch. What's your preferred work truck brand? You know, Dan, I feel like you just stuck a giant landmine out in front of me and are daring me to step on it. So yeah, it's already beginning. I'm not even gonna weigh in on this. I'm just gonna let the slaughter begin in the comments here on my brand of work. I knew this was coming. I'm not even touching that one with a 10-foot pole, Dan. You thought I was dumb, didn't you? You thought I was gonna fall for it. I don't think so. Let's see here, Shane. We have the 210, and I've run it a few times working on a video for it. I'd love to see your video on it, Shane. And in all honesty, as an operator in the seat, I would love your opinion on it because I have not gotten a chance to sit in the seat of it yet. But yeah, knowing how it works now, I am curious to hear your opinions on the machine. So keep me posted on that one. Okay, so we're going through the Chevy Dodge debate. You know, I'll just throw Ford out there just to rile everybody up and get everybody frothing at the mouth. Does that work? I like Ford. I do want a Ford Raptor. Yep, Brandon just called it. I do want a Ford Raptor. I don't care how much judgment I get from this group. I walk tall and proud in who I am for wanting a Ford Raptor. Those are sexy trucks, and they're turbocharged, and anything with the turbo just makes me... Whew, that's all I'll say. Whew. So yes, I want a Raptor, and I don't apologize. Brandon, did you hear about the new law California wants to make, not being allowed to run small gas engines like weed whackers and chainsaws? I have heard of that. I have absolutely heard of that. In fact, I want to say in some areas it's already gone live, if I remember right. I don't know. California picked some of the weirdest soapboxes to get on. Because I kind of agree. I was listening to Aaron Witt's podcast this past week, and he made me laugh because I had the same thought. You're not allowed to run those little small dinky engines. So instead, what everyone's going to do is they're going to drive around with generators running in their truck, charging up all their batteries for their electric stuff. So, like, is it that much better? I can understand maybe from the noise standpoint. Like, if it were truly just based off of noise, I can get that, because leaf blowers especially are just obnoxiously loud. Yeah, I don't know. California goes so over the top with legislating the most ridiculously small, minute things that I go, really? This is where you're going to spend your time when there's so many other issues like the homeless problem? Like, why don't you go focus on that instead? Because I guarantee you none of those guys have any small gas engines that's going to somehow help them with their problem. So go help with that problem, and then we may come back to the small gas engines. That's just whatever. Brad, Diesel Daddy, and Rick still going to be dropping oh yeah, baby, we're dropping podcasts, dude. So we've actually recorded. We've added a third seat. You guys aren't aware of it yet because it hasn't released. We've been pre-recording podcasts so that we can get out past Thanksgiving and everything. In fact, I will tell you guys right now, because I have them scheduled, what podcast is going to drop on Tuesday. Okay, so Tuesday is going to be a talk with Daniel. Boy, I just lost his last name. What is his last name? Dang it. I just lost his last name. He's the executive vice president of the Associated Equipment Distributors, and we talked to him about the infrastructure bill and its impacts on the industry, kind of what's coming down the pipeline. That's coming this week. The following week, let me double check so I don't lie to you. I don't want to lie to you guys. Bring in Matt. It's got to be coming up quick. That Monster versus Red Bull. Okay, so in 2 weeks, we will be dropping the podcast where we add our third seat. We have officially added a third seat to the podcast. His name is Matt Totten. He comes from the building trades. He's fantastic. The second we sat down and started doing the podcast and started rolling, Rick and I both looked at each other and we're like, hey, this is it. He's the guy. So we have added a third seat to the podcast. You guys will hear from him in 2 weeks. But that being said, the infrastructure bill episode is really, really good. We've got some good information there. The following week, we go through our worst job site accidents. And unfortunately, my recorder screwed up. So you only get to hear Rick's side of the story on that one. You don't get to hear mine because it didn't work. But still, that's a really good episode. We've got some really good stuff coming. I'm just going to say that. We have some really, really good stuff coming. We've got some really good guests lined up between the three of us. So we are dropping, it's basically once a week, every week. So every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Eastern time, we're going to be dropping a new podcast. And the goal, like I've said from the beginning, the goal with the podcast is to give you guys something on hump day. You know, Wednesday morning, you're dragging ass because it's the middle of the week. I want to give you something to listen to in your cab to kind of help get you pepped for the day. So yeah, that's why it's strategic that it is a weird day and a weird time that we're dropping those podcasts. It's so you have it for the morning on Wednesday. And by the way, thanks for listening. I do appreciate that, Brad. Brian's a Ford guy, wants a Raptor. We already talked about that. Yep, absolutely. Ryan, you know what? Like I said, yeah, exactly, Dan. Thank you. Our company buys Ford F-150s. They're full of holes in the bed after just one season. They use cheap metal aluminum, except aluminum doesn't rust up here in the north where we have salt. Brandon, come on. Jeez. And that's right, Dan. That's right. You run the piss out of her, and then you make it someone else's problem. That's exactly right. F-150s are junk. 5.4 Triton is... I'm not going for the I can't even flip and talk. I'm not going for the 5.4 liter Triton, Ryan, okay? I'm going for the EcoBoost freaking turbocharged freaking monster of an engine that's going to beat the pants off of... Actually, I'm really thinking... Well, I'm not even going to say it because I don't even want to get into an... I will say it because we'll just get into an argument. I'm really thinking about dropping some coin on the F-150 Lightning because it's a really practical electric truck. And if I sit next to you at a freaking stop sign, I will smoke whatever you throw up against me because it's got electric motors, which means instant torque and zero slippage. Suck on that. Come at me. That's all I'm going to say. Man, that's good scotch. It's good scotch. Let's see here. That law won't go into effect till 2030. Oh, so everyone's bitching and you guys have like 8 years to get ready for it? We're going to be running off of like fart technology by 2030 anyway, so it's not like anyone's going to be running off of 2-stroke motors anyway. There you go. Ryan, I'm going to have to learn how to make some moonshine so I can continue using gas engines at this rate. Moonshine's really straightforward if you don't have to drink it, Ryan. You basically just take some corn, or barley, you know what, whatever grain you want. You ferment it, you add a little yeast to the equation, you seal it off so that it can't get any oxygen, and then the yeast will fart away and it will create your mash. And then you basically boil the mash and you capture the steam, and then you recondense the steam. That is your alcohol. And then if you do it 1 or 2 more times, you get a higher concentration of alcohol. It's really straightforward. You can do it in your bathtub, you can do it in your toilet. And if you try to drink it, you might go blind, but it will absolutely run in an engine. Everyone only applies to new sales. Oh, there you go. It doesn't stop anyone from going to the next state and buying a gas one. There you go. So if it's only really applying to sales and it's not applying to the actual usage, you know, it is what it is. It's not really going to be that impactful. Better start caring for your old weed whackers. So Ryan, that's already here. So the newest chainsaws and weed eaters and leaf blowers actually have a computer chip in them. And I can't remember, but I think it actually monitors engine performance and does a handful of other things. And so chainsaws now have freaking computer chips and ECMs on them, if you can believe it. So that era of caring for your current 2-stroke gas engines it's been here for a while. So I would highly recommend, if you've got a nice weed eater that you don't want to see go by the wayside, hold on to it. Let's see here. Aluminum might not rust, but it corrodes. Same problem, different name. Oh, come on, Ryan. Come on. EcoBoost, so you can burn all the oil because it's ridiculously high oil and has. So Ryan, are you the guy that goes to the party and every time someone's trying to have a good time, you're standing there talking about all of the safety issues that are involved with whatever fun thing everyone's trying to do? Because you're coming off like that guy, Ryan. You're kind of killing the party. You're killing everyone's buzz with your just like, make sure you stay sober enough to drive home. Well, yeah. Take my keys and we'll have fun, okay? Jeez, Ryan. Who invited their mom? I'm just kidding, Ryan. I'm just kidding. I think the gas engine law will make take a big toll in Cali in logging. Huh? I didn't think about that. But at the same time, if we're only talking, does it apply to sales or does it apply to usage? Because if it's only applying to sales, like Shane was saying, just, you know, excuse me, pardon me, that was really rude. Just drive to the next state over, or online sales, and buy your gas engine stuff and continue running it. Now, if they're going to start fining you for actual usage, that is a different story there. So I don't know. A lot of Cali people are already leaving and going to that state that says only 2 things come from Texas: steers and queers, and you don't look like a steer to me. That's right. Yeah. In fact, I was listening to Aaron Witt's podcast. You want to talk about a small world? It cracks me up. So I was listening to Aaron Witt's podcast the other day, and he was interviewing a company that's out of the Austin area, and I didn't really think anything above and beyond that. But as I'm listening to the podcast, the guy's originally from California, and I'm rolling my eyes and going, yeah, that's yet another Californian that moved out there to Austin, shut all the live music venues down, and California'd it up. But then he goes further and he's like, well, I'm not actually from Austin. I'm from a little town outside of Austin called Dripping Springs. That's my hometown. And I'm like, what? So I go look up his shop. His shop is like 10 minutes from my old house. So crazy small world that we live in. It was pretty interesting. That was kind of cool. Nope, just kill the party if it involves a Ford. At least they circled the problem with their logo. Ryan, sweet Jesus, man. Sweet Jesus. Well, you guys can continue to bash Ford as I motor on down the road and leave you in my silent dust with my F-150 Lightning. So suck on that. Guys, if we can't get some steam rolling here, we're gonna have to wrap her up early, which I'm not opposed to. I mean, Merrick worked me, so it's been a bit of a long week, and I'm not opposed to wrapping her up a little early. But at the same time, like, I'd like to keep rolling here, but we got to get this chat fired up. Really, it's Brandon. We got Brandon and Ryan going back and forth in one of these things, And then we've got Dan chiming in from time to time. Shane has been gone for a while. I mean, come on. We were really cranking here at the beginning and we've just gone silent. So, I don't even know what to talk about at this point. At least Chevy is classy. You wear a bow tie. I live in Chevy territory and I'm telling you, Chevy is not all it's cracked up to be. Hey, Rashad! Rashad has stepped up to save the conversation. There you go. See if you can meet up with that guy near your hometown. So the problem is he's like a rental business. And so I don't know. It's not like I can go out there and be like, hey, can I rent something from you? Because that doesn't make for a great video or YouTube content. But you know, it is what it is. That being said, if you guys aren't familiar, are you guys familiar with Soldier of Dirt on Instagram? He used to have a YouTube channel. In fact, I used to watch him pretty avidly. He's from San Antonio, and he and I have actually talked about meeting up while I'm down there. In fact, I need to message him and see if he's still up for that, but there's a small chance I might go down there because you guys know what he runs. A track loader. He runs a track loader. I get giddy thinking about it. I really do. I'm very excited about it. So we'll see what happens, but there's a small chance I might go hang with Soldier of Dirt for, you know, an evening. We may go grab a drink or something, and I'll go hang at his job for half a day. We'll see what happens. What's that hand signal you just did? Brandon, I know good and well you're well versed in that hand signal. That's pulling a train horn. Beep, beep. Don't act like you're ignorant. Dan, what's the difference between the logging machines with buckets and excavators? That's actually a really good question. So I'm going to speculate a little bit here. I think the logging machines have a little bit different geometry to them because they're normally made for handling like feller bunchers and stuff. They certainly have, much more robust undercarriage to them. And they have single bar grousers instead of triple bar grousers because they're made for climbing steep slopes and stuff. I'm sure there's some engine differences because they are made for working on some pretty steep slopes. But I don't know all of the ins and outs on the differences of those, in all honesty. Let's see here. Why don't you get a Mustang Mach-E while you're at it? They trashed the legacy of the Mustang with a 4-door grocery getter. I didn't even know. So this is how little I care about the Mustang and how, yeah, I hate the Mustang. I didn't even know what the Mach-E was. So we're not even going to go down that road. Yeah, I'm not a Mustang. And in all honesty, I'm not a like diehard Ford guy. Now, what I will say is, out of the last 4 vehicles I've owned that were Chevys, and then we owned a Ford, the Ford was the one that didn't give me any problems and was an absolute champ, and it had a better interior than the Chevys did. So for the record, that's why, and I'm talking the truck, I'm talking the F-150. Loved my F-150. That was a fantastic truck. The reason I'm looking at the Lightning, they've done a really, really good job of being practical with it. It's got a lot of very practical usability. I love the front trunk, the frunk, which is the stupidest name. It drives me nuts they call it that, but like taking the engine compartment and actually making that usable space was brilliant. Like, it's just a really well done truck, and they're not trying to charge you $120,000 for something like Chevy is with the. That electric Hummer is the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life. Why in God's green earth would you ever come up with that product? That is the stupidest. Anyway, off of that. Ryan, save the hand signals for the OnlyFans. No, Ryan. See, that's where you and I differ because I understand marketing. You market hand signals here, brother. And then the real action, the real horn honking, the train horn, because we're talking about a train horn, right? Happens on the OnlyFans. That's right. It's all about marketing. Bet it makes left turns in the ditch too. That's right. Right. Any news or updates on the JCB backhoe or backhoe usage? No, unfortunately, no updates on that front, Brandon. We are still in the dark with JCB. Hoping it stays that way for a good long time. What is that in reference to, Shane? My hatred of Ford or you against my Chevys? Man, my computer's effed up. I'm gonna grab my iPad and try to join again. Well, Rasha, I hope the iPad comes through with flying colors, my friend. The Mustang has always been a retarded car. I'm sorry, but the Mustang is the epitome of I don't know how to drive, I don't know how to handle a rear wheel drive vehicle, and therefore I'm going to end up in a ditch. I hate Mustangs. I hate the people who drive Mustangs because they're typically it's like a giant douche nozzle driving down the highway. Now, if you want to talk about that Pontiac Firebird WS6 with those nice fat nostrils on the hood, and you put a Borla exhaust on that baby, I'd put that up there with my Supra. I really do want that car. That is that's a sexy car. I love that car. My fiance says you should drive a Prius. Brandon, your fiance, and we just for the record, we're talking the fiance that you, as I quote, with the dirty holes. That's your quote, Brandon. That's not mine. Just saying. She's saying that I should drive a Prius. You know what? If I ever get neutered, I will happily go drive a Prius. That's all I'm going to say on that. I agree, but it is the future. Let's see here. I might not like Ford, but leave the Mustang alone. If you're making a four-door name, it's something completely different. See, this is where, Ryan, you're kind of like one of those guys that's in the closet, but still like defends it. Like, you're saying you're not a Ford guy, but then you're like, but don't touch my Mustang. I'm just kidding, but seriously, which side of the fence are you on here, Ryan? You're starting to look a little questionable here. Oh yeah, Shane's got his S2000 and it's naturally aspirated. That would be a fun little golf cart to come out on. Golf cart, not golf cart, fun little go-kart. Sweet Jesus. Oh, by the way, we were working for a customer down there in Ohio this week that we go in their barn and they've got a little Mazda Miata that has a turbo that's about this freaking big under the hood. It was like, I want to go play in that. That looks like a blast. If you've never had a good romp with a Mazda Miata, you're missing a critical aspect of life. That is a fun little car. I'd put it there with the S2000 just on, like, you're sitting on the ground. You're never going to roll the thing. Go hog wild. It is a blast, and it's rear wheel drive. So it's a tiny car. Put that big old fat turbo on it, and now you got some real horsepower to throw behind it. It is a go-kart. It's an adult go-kart. Love it. iDig. Dave, what about iDig? Because I dig all sorts of things, and I've done a video. I'm doing multiple videos on iDig. But let me know what your question on iDig is, and I'd be more than happy to answer it for you. 10 minutes, guys. We're going to go 10 minutes here on the clock, and then we're going to shut this baby down. Rasha, is the feed any better for you? Has the iPad picked up where the PC has let you down? Let us know. That's not the Mustang, just the Ford customers. And if they choose that brand, clearly good judgment is not their specialty. See, here's Ryan back. He's riding that fence, and maybe he likes the feel of riding that fence. Ryan, is that it? Does it kind of tickle you right there on the undercarriage and get you a little excited? Is that why you're riding the fence so hard? Oh yeah, that the WS6. I love those cars, Shane. I really do. Like, they've got the sex appeal, but they've got the balls to back it up. I had a buddy in high school that had one that he let me drive it around for a while, and he had that Borla exhaust on there, and it just sounded mean. It was such an awesome car. Love that car. Brandon, love to have a GTR. Oh, absolutely. If I could afford that. Or, in all honesty too, so I wasn't a fan of kind of the intermediate Supras that came out, like, what was that, the like 2010s, in the teens? When they brought the Supra back initially, I was not a fan, but I saw one of the newest Supras the other day, and boy, that is a sexy car. I kind of like, I've always been a sucker for the late 90s, like the 96 Supras. I really like that body style, especially when you had some tasteful body work done. I'm not talking like full on Fast and Furious, but if you did some tasteful body work to them, Those were just really sexy cars, and I like them with the wing off of them. I don't like a wing on the back. I like it without a wing, just nice and clean, low profile look. Oh my gosh, those are such sexy cars. But the new Supras, actually, they are nice freaking, they're good looking cars. Rashad, where's your Dodge Neon SRT? You know, I almost, back in the day, I almost got a Neon SRT. Not because of the looks. I think they are ugly as sin. They're such an ugly car. But they have got tremendous horsepower, and they were fast as crap. In fact, I want to say in the day, they were the fastest car in that weight class. Stock from the factory. I want to specify that. But they're just so freaking ugly. Just ugly. Hey, Merrick, thank you. Thank you for having me out. And by the way, on Yellowstone, the library got Yellowstone in. We just started watching Yellowstone again last night, so I'm right there, man. I'm with you. We're watching Yellowstone, so enjoy it. Tell your wife I said hello. Tell Wayne I said hello, and thanks again. We'll catch you guys when I get back. So, but yeah, let's see here. Ryan, I like the Chevy through and through, and so does the rest of my family. But I can appreciate the legacy of any muscle car. So to see a Mustang name be put on a four-door is hard to understand. Yeah, I get that, but at the same time, the Mustang by itself is just, yeah, everybody that drives the Mustang is just a tool. That's always my experience. I'm not a fan. Rashad, glad you got your computer working. Ryan, gotta ride the fence on a windy day in a silk thong. See, that's where you're mistaken, Ryan, because even that silk, it's just, it takes away from the sheer pleasure of doing it full nude, or better yet, assless chaps, because you don't have to go full nude, especially on a breezy day. Your legs could get kind of cold, and so the assless chaps is really the way to go, so that you get really the full experience, if you will, on the gooch, because that's where it counts. Brandon, dream car would be a Lambo. You know, if you're gonna go with, now if we're going with supercars, I'm gonna go with a Pagani Zonda. Those have always just been beautiful cars. I love the Pagani Zonda, but that's, you know, we're in a weight class that I could never step up to there, and so yeah, I don't even really consider that like a real option, because I can never afford something like that. So we're gonna stick to my Supra. You know, let me spend $30,000 on a car and then dump another $30,000 into it. That's my budget. Not let's go spend, you know, I don't even remember what those go for. What, $350,000 on a supercar that you're never gonna feel comfortable driving around in, especially in Michigan. Sweet Jesus, one pothole and you've totaled the car. Can't do it. Let's see here, Ryan. My dream car would be a first-gen Camaro, nice, clean, with an unreasonable amount of power. So I did have a buddy that had a Camaro back in high school, and he was replacing the exhaust on it and putting a header on it. And he fired that thing up with just the header on it, and it sounded like something was like, it sounded like a monster was coming out from under the car to eat me. It was flipping awesome. But that's kind of the Camaro and the Firebird in my mind were kind of tied, because you had a lot of the engine swaps would go back and forth. They had a lot of crossover between them, so they performed relatively similarly. So oh, but that's a late, I'm sorry, you said a like first gen Camaro. I'm talking a little later there. All chaps are assless. Then why do they call them assless chaps, Ryan? Someone has some chaps with some ass. Or maybe it's just they turn into assless chaps once you wear the ass out of them. And that's the question you need to ask, is how do you wear the ass out of a pair of chaps? Food for thought, guys. Food for thought. Little Skechers. Well, it's been forever, man. Good to see you. And we've been getting snow all day. It stuck a little bit this morning. We had about a 1/4 inch on the ground. Now it's all melted off. It's slimy and nasty outside, and it's disgusting. And tomorrow I'm supposed to try to go, I was hoping to go film an advanced dozer techniques video, but in this weather, I don't know if it's going to happen. The Golden Gooch. That's right, Bobby. The Golden Gooch. That's what it's all about. You should watch Daily Driven Exotics. I see, Brandon, I can't go watch those because I lift the desk with my erection when I watch those, but it's like one of those, it's like a tease because you're never going to be able to afford any of those cars. So you get the giant erection, but you never actually get completion. It's just frustrating. And that's why I tend not to watch those things. It's because I don't want to spend my whole day frustrated. So 5 minutes. You're getting an extra 5 minutes because technically it's been 10 minutes. So 5 minutes, guys. And I'm sorry, little sketchers, you just showed up and I apologize, but we've been shutting this thing down right around 9 o'clock every night. We're going to go to 9:05 just for you because you just showed up. And John DePinto, because I just noticed that he showed up too. Welcome to the live stream, John DePinto, and it's good to see you. And you've never been here before because I don't recognize your name, and I'm glad that you showed up. I will get to you in just a second after I answer Shane. 1971 Trans Am. Ooh, so we're hitting the 70s Trans Am. I'm down. So John, local 15 in New York, put in some new sewers and water mains. Just watch one of your videos. What kind of work are you in? So John, I started in the residential side. Let me go. So when I was in Texas, I started on the road side, moved to Michigan, really cut my teeth where I was really running equipment on the residential side. And then I moved over to a large company here and finished out doing road work and underground work. I kind of moved, I was on a road crew technically, but we were the guys doing all of the underground. So we did sanitary, storm sewer, water line replacement, whenever it was a true rebuild and replace. I was on the pipe crew for that. So I've done a little bit of everything. And then as my career continues to progress, I'm no longer operating full time, but I do work with a bunch of contractors around the country. And then I got my buddy Rick. And so I've been dabbling in tree work and I've been dabbling in this and that. So a little bit of everything in all honesty. So, but good to have you out on the live stream, man. I do appreciate you coming out. And just for those of you just joining, you have about 4 minutes left of car talk. We're talking about our dream cars here, is where we're at. And someone just, wait a second here. Oh, took a little bit big drink. That's the one thing with scotch. You have to respect the scotch or the scotch bites. Bobby used to have a 76 Firebird with the SB 400 in it. That I would miss that car as well. That's a nice car. That's a nice car. Ryan, we took the exhaust of the manifolds of a minivan and it sounded like a race car. It was impressive. I'm gonna be honest. So we've got a Chevy Traverse. It's a little four banger. I hate that. I hate that car. Worst car. But we did get a hole in the exhaust, and I'm not gonna lie. I would sit and anytime there was especially Mustang, if there was a Mustang next to me at the red light, like, let's throw down, buddy. I'd rev her up. That exhaust hole sounded pretty slick. Like, it sounded, I wouldn't put it on par with a Borla. But you know, it was like if you got a set of headers off of eBay, like I'd put it on par with a set of eBay headers. And so, yeah, I'd rev on some Mustangs. Absolutely. And they would laugh, and it was good because I'd smoke them every time off the red light, mostly because they weren't trying, but I'd still smoke them. We gonna get some, Skechers, sweet Jesus, you're gonna back them up. You guys, yes, I'm gonna try for you guys because everyone is asking me if we're gonna have plowing. I know you guys want to see some plowing. I will take one for the team, and I will go talk to some contractors and see if I can do some plowing. It's not gonna be a lot, I can tell you that right now. You're gonna be lucky if I go out a couple times. But that being said, I am going to try to make a point to get some really good cinematic shots of some plowing, even if I'm not running the machines. But I will try to talk to a contractor and see if I can't get in a loader or something this winter and maybe get you guys an evening of plowing snow. But that's where we're at. So somebody draw a line. We're drawing a line. I'm done. I'm done at the line. That's how we roll, guys. What part of New York, John? I don't know because I'm not John. I think the new shop teachers that are let me try this again. This time without the, I think the new shop teachers that are at the school would have shut us down the second the hacksaws came out. Yeah, absolutely. All fun and game until the Mustang tries to race you and crashes into you. That's the truth, Ryan. You got to be careful. That's why I feel comfortable doing it in a Chevy Traverse with 2 car seats in the back, is because I have yet to take anyone up, or I have yet to have anyone take me up on the race. But that is always a thought, and that's why the second they take off, I'm actually going to fall back, is because I need to have room for them to 360 a couple times due to their retardation, and then I'll actually win the race, believe it or not, because they will spin out into a ditch. I will continue down the drag strip, and away we go. So there's my line. I love you guys as always. Thanks for hanging out. I appreciate you guys. Like I said, we are not going live for 2 weeks. So we got next weekend and the following weekend. We will not be live because I'll be on the road. Following that, we're going to get Matt on here. We are going to get the boy live so that he can hang out. He can talk about his channel. We're going to get Matt on here, I promise. So you guys enjoy the holidays, because I won't talk to you before Thanksgiving. Legitimately, enjoy the holidays with your families. Go spend some time with the kids, the wife, mom and dad, whoever you got in your life. Really go enjoy yourselves. I appreciate you guys, and we'll see you after the holidays.